Most people who watch weight loss content have already tried to lose the weight, maybe even more than once. So have I. Except I actually got there. From 300 pounds down to 160, shredded abs, defined muscles, everything. And then I put it back on. So I'm here to tell you what happened, how it happened, and what I'm doing differently this time around. So weight loss is a big, it's a big concept that a lot of people don't really understand. They think they're gonna have to eat disgusting foods, do all this running, but it's a lot different than that. So how I got to 300 pounds in the first place, I've always loved food. It's been a big part of my life. I would go out, eat with my friends after school, and then I would come home and have dinner with my family. How I actually got to 300 pounds in the first place, I've always loved food. You can call me a foodie. I love going out to eat. I love trying new foods. I love exploring food, and I cook as well. So I've loved eating. It's always been my comfort whenever things are bad or even whenever things are good. So I've always been an overeater my entire life. It's something that I've struggled with. And then COVID came around. So we're all locked inside, and my dad finally decided he wanted to make a change for himself. And during COVID, I was staying up all night playing video games with my friends, being really unproductive and unhealthy. I saw my dad start to lose a little bit of weight, and that finally motivated me to give it a try myself. So he started on the keto diet, and I basically just followed him. He would cook all the foods, and I just ate on the keto diet. Just from changing the way I was eating, I already started to lose some weight. And this is way before I got into the gym and the fitness space. Basically, it was COVID, so everything was locked down. My good friend, he loves to hike and be outdoors, and I started hanging out with him because everything was outdoors. We would go on hikes, we'd go hike to cliff jumping, literally just outside walking instead of being at home sitting on the couch. So that's how I got to 300 pounds in the first place and the change I made to start losing the weight. What the journey from 300 to 160 actually looked like. Obviously, I started off with the just being outdoors, being on the couch less, some slight movement here and there, and I was eating on the keto diet. So when we'd go to cliff jump, I would bring tomatoes and whatnot to snack on, and my friends were eating chips and, doing their thing. But eventually I got tired of eating in the keto diet, so I started learning about the gym, like bodybuilding, how they eat. So I started in a calorie deficit finally. I ordered a digital food scale from Amazon. I calculated my uh, body mass index and the calories I would need to be eating to be in a deficit. From there, I started weighing out all my food using MyFitnessPal. I also started cooking all of my own meals and just tracking every single calorie that I was eating. Throughout high school, I would lift on occasion, but I never could really get into it. So I kind of just threw myself in the gym. I started off with push pull legs, pretty much everyone's standard first split. So that was working for me. I really started to enjoy lifting, falling in love with the process. And it took me about 18 months to get all the way from 300 pounds down to 160. And I never once fell off the wagon. I never once, sort of, stopped trying. And what happened was I would see the changes in the mirror, and that would motivate me to go harder and harder and keep going. What I believe that I think is true for everyone is you just need to eat what you like. You need to do the exercises you like in the gym. That way you can make it consistent and turn it into a lifestyle. I mean, that's really all weight loss is. It's building systems, and that's what I'm here to do for you guys. I realized that I put it back on and how it happened. So the domino effect all started when I got injured. I flipped over an ATV, separated my shoulder, nerve damage in my back, sprained neck, bruised chest, lungs, and ribs. So that sidelined me from the gym for 3 months. This was the first time since I actually started losing the weight that I was not in the gym. So it really messed with me mentally, and it was hard for me to overcome. So what did I do? I went back to my comfort, which is food. I stopped tracking my meals. I stopped caring about the protein. I just wanted something that was going to be good and that, made me feel good until it didn't. So I would go out, I'd still lift, and then I would hang out with my friends. I would go out to eat with them after, go out to eat on my own, just grab a slice of pizza here and there. And I love to eat, but that's not healthy. And eventually I stopped working out altogether just because it was so hard to work out, do the same exercise that I once did where I could see the muscle definition and the vascularity. So that was very hard for me to mentally overcome, and that's why I stopped altogether. So that's one of the hardest things to overcome is an injury or something that you can't control takes you out of the process that you've been in for so long. And eventually I got to a point where I realized that I put most of it back on. And I was very unhappy with myself. Recently, over the last couple months, I've gone back into the gym, back into a calorie deficit, and I've been cooking all my own meals. I already feel a lot better, even though the scale hasn't moved a crazy amount. I've been sort of trying to build a new system for myself that's really tailored to me, what I enjoy, and what I like doing in the gym. That way I don't have to think about it. Basically, building a system is the only possible way to lose the weight sustainably. So when you do that, you are not even thinking about it. Everything starts to become second nature to you. I wake up in the morning, I hop on the treadmill, I do my cardio, I lift right after that, and then I make my food. Then I go about my day. I go to work, or if I'm not working that day, then I spend time with my family, and that's sort of the system I'm creating for myself now, so it just becomes part of my daily routine. What gaining the weight back taught me that losing it never did. Be grateful for what you have in the moment because you never know how long you'll be able to hold on to it for. So the biggest thing that I faced was overcoming the obstacle of the mental aspect of putting it back on. I built a system for myself in the first place to lose it originally, and I lost track of that system. I stopped putting my energy and effort into it. Now I have honed in on my discipline again, and I've sort of built a system that's better tailored to my lifestyle that makes it more manageable to do every day. Basically, most of my days look like this. When I wake up in the morning, I'm out of bed immediately and I go straight downstairs to hit my cardio. If I don't hit my cardio in the morning, I'm gonna push it back until later in the day, and odds are I will end up skipping it. After my cardio, I hit the weights. That is my favorite part. Cardio is my least favorite part. That's why I start with the cardio and not the weights. Why I'm doing this again. I want to feel better about myself, look better in clothes, and live longer and a more active lifestyle. This is what everyone should want, and most people don't realize how easy it actually is if you build the right systems. The invaluable lessons I've learned throughout my own personal journey, physically, emotionally, and mentally, are usually the same mistakes most people make. I'm here to teach you how to build the proper system for yourself that can be tailored to your lifestyle and help keep the weight off long term. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're interested in what I've been saying, click the link down below for your free sustainable weight loss guide.